Hey, good afternoon, everybody. It's Single Cut Dan here with another exciting episode of SCTV. Like number 920. I stopped counting a very long time ago. But if you can't tell, I'm a little amped. I'm a little excited because this is my favorite SCTV we do all year. I've been looking forward to this one for a long time. Before we get into the revelry, let me tell you a little bit where I am, because normally you catch me from the HQ in Queens. Today, we're actually up here at beautiful Single Cut North in Saratoga County in the town of Clifton Park. If you're ever traveling through I-90 or visiting Boston, going up to Quebec, anything like that, swing on and see us here. We're in the town of Clifton Park, beautiful tap room. We're open 6 days a week, all year round. Get all your favorite single cut beers, sit out on the lawn, have a good time, listen to some great music, all vinyl here, just like it is at all of our other tap rooms. But speaking of good music, probably the whole reason why you're watching this episode is because we are going to be talking today to one of our absolute favorite musicians in the world, a bona fide rock star, a man tickling in the keys and belting it out like nobody else. Philly's one and own Adam Weiner, Low Cut Connie, because today we're going to be talking about, boom, it's back. Shake It Little Tina. This beautiful beer we did last time, inspired by the music of Low Cut Connie and brewed for the intensity of a Low Cut Connie live show. A blonde rice ale with a little bit of lime and a little bit of what is that? Oh, is that rhubarb? Is that the embodiment of spring in a can? Yes, it is. It's summertime. We need something easy to drink. And more than that, it is Pride Month. So happy Pride for everybody. And just like last year, 10% of the wholesale proceeds are being donated on behalf of Low Cut Connie to this year Philly's own The Attic, which is an incredible organization which works with LGBTQ plus youth from the Philly metro area as well as the Mid-Atlantic, giving them a safe space to develop their passions, find what really drives them, whether that's vocational training or things that just involve with the arts, computer programming, whatever makes them happy and fulfilled is what The Attic is all about. Incredible organization. So happy Pride. But now let's get to it. Introducing the one and only Mr. Adam Weiner, Low Cut Connie.
What's up? Little Danny Brunson over there at Single Cut. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, man. I'm doing better now. How you living?
Doing all right. I just got back from a jog, so I'm a little schwitzy, and pretty hyped to talk to you about this beer. I'm so thrilled that we're doing this again because last year we did this and people loved it. We raised a lot of money for wonderful organization, and I just hope we can keep this rolling all through this summer.
Oh yeah, and some good news for you beer nerds out there, and really good news for those tough cookies listening right now.
Woo.
Okay, last year, a lot of fun, delicious beer if you could get your hands on it. Your dirty little paws had to be moving in a lot of directions to score one of these cans. They were a hard find, so we brewed more of it this year, thank goodness. But also, announcing it right here, we've partnered with our friends at Halftime Beverage in Mamaroneck, New York. And you can visit that link down there scrolling at the bottom of your screen, bit.ly/Shake It Little Tina, and you can get nationwide delivery unless you live in one of 12 super lame states, which you probably don't. Maybe you do, I don't know. But you can get it delivered to almost anywhere. So get it right to your doorstep, throw on private lives in the cans, crack a can, put your feet up, and enjoy it.
This is really exciting because last year, we did this thing. It was in a few states, and right here where I live in Philly, there was a few of my favorite bars that carried it, and everybody sold out of it. And I remember walking around during Pride Month, and people were just standing out on these little patios and things, drinking the Shake It Little Tina beer. You could see the can sparkling from half a mile away. And, and then I was kind of sad when it was over, and then we talked and I was like, can we make this like an annual thing? Because, we bring attention to an underserved community here in Philadelphia and around the country, while also enjoying a delicious beverage. And, giving people a little something to look forward to for the summer after a tough winter, you know.
Fondness or I messed up that line already. You know what? I'm gonna defer all cleverness to you for the rest of this interview. So no pressure, but you got to carry this now.
I got you, baby.
Okay, thank God. Whew, okay.
I got you.
So, for anybody who isn't familiar with Adam's music, first and foremost, shame on you because we've been shouting it loud and proud. So, if you know Single Cut, you should know Low Cut Connie. But Shake It Little Tina was great for our own inspiration because we had a very clear cut plan on how to make this beer taste. It needed to be a beer you could have in a music venue that could live up to the excitement, the fervor, the furiosity that Adam brings to the stage. So let me blow up the man because he's here. This is you were seeing one of the world's best live music performers, which he's gonna play shy on, I'm sure. But it's truth. You can hear it from my voice to you. Adam, what built that DNA, man? What set that high bar for your shirt ripping, sweat pouring live performance?
I don't know. You know, people ask me, how do you do this? How do you do that? I really have no good answer for you, Dan, because when I go on stage, I don't think about anything, you know. And I don't remember what I did or how I did it. Things just happen, and that's part of the freedom that being a performer, you know, allows you. When I get on stage when I'm performing, it's my truest, freest self, if you know what I'm saying.
Right.
And it's such an ecstatic feeling to help a lot of people in a room or on a camera or whatever to facilitate their good time. It's an amazing feeling. And I don't really have a plan or a strategy of how I do it. It just kind of happens. I wish I had a better answer for you on that.
No, you got a sweaty little fugue state. I love that. How about this? What was that first show you went to, if you remember, where you just had to like sit down for a second as a kid and just be like, that was transcendent. I went somewhere else. I don't know how I got here or where I went.
Well, there's a few.
We got time.
There's a few real pivotal performances that I saw in my younger days. One of them, if I could go to my teens, when I first moved to New York City, I scalped a ticket to go see Tom Waits at the Beacon Theater. I was 18 years old. I went by myself, and in addition to the the buzz on the show, when I walked in, Keith Richards was in the audience, and Elvis Costello walked by, and Lou Reed was there. And man, just between Keith and Lou, those are like two of my biggest, inspirations. And there I was in the room there, see Tom Waits, and it was just this incredible, very theatrical show, very immersive show that blurred the line between music performance and theatrical performance. But he certainly, with that tour, was making people feel like they were you took you to another world, if you know what I mean.
Was that like Alice and Blood Money? Was it around that time?
It was the Mule Variations tour.
Mule Variations tour. And Keith Richards is all over that album, if I'm not mistaken.
This was 1998 or 99.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, damn, that's what I want to do. And then if I can highlight a couple others for you.
We're here for it. I told you, you're carrying the show now. I
got to see Iggy Pop with the Stooges, the very first U.S. reunion show.
Whoa!
And I get chills talking about that show because it was just the most electrifying rock and roll thing I'd ever seen.
The brother's still alive and touring at that point?
Yes. So I'm trying. This was early 2000s, maybe 2003 or 2. I saw James Brown here in Philadelphia when I was a teenager, and we snuck in under a fence and got right up front. And he was already well into his 60s, and he was still doing splits, and just the hardest working man in show business, you know. I saw Patti Smith completely transform from this mild-mannered kind of literary tea drinking person into this ferocious rock and roll wildebeest on stage. You know, I saw Bruce Springsteen. I felt like I was a puppet the first time I saw him live, in that he could orchestrate 40,000 people and make you feel like you were in a tiny room all together. I mean, I could go on and on. I've seen so many incredible performers. I've seen the Stones many times, and even at 79 years old, Mick Jagger is still outrunning everybody, you know. But also some of my favorite performers that I never got to see live in person, but I have studied and watched so much tape on, and that would be my two favorite live performers of all time, Tina Turner and Prince. Probably just the least boring people you've ever seen on a stage, and with a very high, what I call stage IQ. And I don't think I ever thought, Dan, that I would be one of those people. I certainly don't put myself in that category, but somehow things happen with this band, Low Cut Connie, in my 30s that conspired after I'd already given up having a music career, because I'd tried in my 20s and kind of failed. But things kind of came together in my 30s such that there were people that liked my songs, and I couldn't convince anyone else to sing them, because that's what I thought I was going to do, is write songs for other people. Because I'm shy, you know, I'm shy. People don't believe that I am shy. But when I saw the people come out to these shows and they knew the words to my songs off that first Low Cut Connie album, I just kind of, something like a switch flipped, and something inside of me came out that I didn't even know was there.
Yeah, or a wall went down, right? That
Sure.
Ooh, that's gorgeous. I mean, you know, we're the Queens rock and roll brew. That's what we do. You know, before Low Cut Connie happened, you were a Queens kid for a while yourself, weren't you? You spent some time in our Astoria.
I lived in Astoria for 5 years. I have a lot of affection for Queens. I love Queens. In fact, I'd have to say it's probably my favorite borough. I lived in almost, no, I didn't live in every borough, but I loved Queens, and I used to play piano in a restaurant every Friday night out there in Queens. And we lived in the shittiest apartment under the train near Astoria Boulevard. And you know, the thing about Queens is it's like the UN. It's like the most diverse.
Yeah.
I think Queens is, somebody could look this up, but I'm pretty sure it is the most languages spoken in one zip code in the world. Somebody told me.
I think it was me that told you that, and I'm going to stand by it.
Yeah, it is unbelievable how many different cultures, languages, ethnicities, races, walks of life are slammed together in Queens. And it was an amazing place, despite how shitty my circumstances were at the time where I was living. It was an amazing place to start, you know, messing around, making music, and trying to figure out what I wanted to say.
Mm. So obviously 2020 was a difficult year for everybody, particularly difficult for those who make their living traveling and sharing that musical experience with people. You did something really incredible where you were doing daily live streams, which kept me going for sure. It's one of the many reasons.
It wasn't daily. It was twice a week.
Twice a week? It felt like every day. You were in my home.
It was every Thursday and Saturday, and we did 107 of them public, and then a number of them for Patreon. And so just during the, from March of 2020 through June of 21, I did over 150 live stream performances and covered over 600 songs. And it's all a blur. It's really all a blur.
What was the biggest fan pop you got for one of your covers? What was the one that like I didn't know was going to blow up like that, but the Tough Cookies spoke? That cover blew their mind.
Well, we got a lot of traction. The first one was when Little Richard passed away. I did a Little Richard tribute live stream that evening, and that went fairly viral. People were tuning in from all over the world to see that, because all these people, millions of people that passed away during the quarantine time, there was no ability to memorialize them in person. I think this is one of the greatest tragedies of the COVID era, is that we couldn't have proper funerals, memorials, tributes for so many lost friends. And so I wanted to do something for Little Richard because he's meant so much to me. So that was sort of the first one that popped. There was a cover of Sly and the Family Stone's Everyday People that we did that really spread around. And that was something that I did the week of George Floyd's murder. And that we did it. We had a very emotional broadcast after that happened. And on the strength of the cover of Everyday People, which is one of my favorite songs, I then actually was able to interview as guests on my show all the members of Sly and the Family Stone, excluding Sly. I got to speak to his daughter, but I interviewed Larry Graham and Gregorico and the saxophone player and Freddie Stone. It was amazing. It was amazing how many connections were made through these songs that we were covering on these shows.
Some straight royalty right there.
Yeah.
In addition to all this other great music that you got to share with all your fans, you made some incredible music during that time. The Private Lives album dropped, incredible. And you're finally getting to get out and tour on this, now over the last 6 months. Has that been an invigorating thing? You've been kind of getting your road legs under you again?
It's been great because we put this record out and we had this whole world tour planned that we never got to do for Private Lives, the Private Lives tour. And so over the last 9-10 months, we've been doing it finally. And people had 2 years to digest the music. Everybody's lives changed dramatically. And I think the thing that's been so special about it is everybody in every club or festival or theater that we've played, everybody on stage and in the crowd has this deeper appreciation of music and of each other. You can feel it. You can feel it. It's not just another night out at the opera. It's like people bring sort of emotional stakes into the room. Like they are ready to connect with the music, with their neighbors, and sort of get lifted,
I've been dancing a lot more at live shows in 2022. I'll tell you that much. It just feels good. It feels right, man.
I mean, you go through something as a nation, as a community, and as a planet where you lose so much. And you start to look around you and realize the very few things that connect people to each other, the very few things that we have that actually bridge the gap between people right. Who are separated because of their isolation, because of geography, because of race, because of politics, because of time, because of all all the different things that drive us apart and make us all feel so isolated and hopeless about the future, music, especially live music and performance, is one of the best things that we have to feel alive together, feel like we're all moving towards something good together.
The one common language that everybody in Queens speaks, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So you're out on the road again, man. You're traveling here and there. You got international dates. You got national dates. Present company excluded, because we'll always ride or die for Queens and Philly, to the Queen cities of this beautiful nation.
Yeah.
What's your favorite stopover? What's that
Ooh.
one spot you just yourself love? You're going to get off the bus. You're going to have a good time.
It's impossible. There's so many cities and towns that I love and that I've missed seeing. But I'll tell you, there was a show that we did on this recent tour where we went to California.
Mm-hmm.
We played this little town, and this bar, it's like a little sports tiki bar in a strip mall in this little suburb. And they were just so enthusiastic to try and get Low Cut Connie into their bar. And we played there, and I grew up in the suburbs in New Jersey, so I have an affection for those little dinky little spots in the strip mall.
Yeah.
That try to put really cool events together.
Totally.
And as much as I love playing these big ballrooms and theaters and festivals and things, playing that little sports bar in the shopping center, and these people were just so grateful that we came to their town. I feel like everybody in the town was there. That was really special. I'm hoping to do more of that in the future.
Oh, man, I love it. I grew up in a town just like that, too, just outside of San Diego. I know exactly that bar. Not that particular bar, but that spirit that you're describing. That's something beautiful. That amount of ownership and community that comes with a bar. There's nothing like it.
And P.S., if you're from San Diego area, one of my favorites is we did the Casbah.
Oh, the Cas. Yeah.
Earlier this year, and that's just a great rock and roll club. We actually filmed that show, which very well may be part of this film that I'm making. I can tell you about it. I haven't said too much about it, but we are making this this new album. So I made a new album that's going to come out next year. It's called Art Dealers. And with the album, we are making this documentary / concert film. And we've shot a number of shows. And one of them actually was in San Diego. So everybody keep your eyes, open, because we're going to be putting out a movie next year.
Wow. Heard it here.
Maybe we can serve Shake It Little Teen a beer when we premiere the film. That would be pretty cool.
That sounds like I know a guy. We can do that. You got to forgive me. I'm just taking a little fantasy moment because I know that venue so well. I love it. And if, I never had the little exercise, but if I had to pick one music venue in the world where I thought that would be perfect for you.
Yeah, that's definitely Casbah, San Diego is definitely one of my favorite rock and roll clubs for sure.
So intimate, so tight, so sweaty in a good way.
Yeah, and I always I enter by walking out on the street. And then you exit by walking out on the street, and it's just like your eyeball to eyeball with people,
You better enjoy the meet and greet because it's going to happen regardless. Yeah. That's awesome, man. So you just played City Winery a couple weeks ago. Is that correct? Right here in the New York City area?
Yeah, we did. We did this beautiful event for WFUV. Our friends who broadcast out of the Bronx, out of Fordham University,
the Jesuit University.
Yeah, so they hadn't been able to we were supposed to do the event a couple years ago, and my dear friend who was the first DJ to play us in New York City, Rita Houston, she passed away last year.
Yeah.
And so in a lot of ways it was kind of a memorial, or I should say a celebration of Rita, because she I am just one of many musicians that she discovered and helped along in at WFUV, and she curated the concert 2 years ago that we never got to do. You know, and she had chosen me to be part of that show, so it was really special a couple years later to get to honor her and do it. Yeah.
What an incredible gift we get, which I don't have to think we take it for granted. I know we all take it for granted. You know, just this incredible connection that we get through radio, like this, the idea that you're going to get something which is not curated for you, it's curated for your whole community, and you're going to love some stuff, you're going to not dig some stuff, but you're going to make a little audio friend. You know, you're going to have a DJ looking out for you, making sure you get some choice picks. Not all radio stations are great, but man, I mean, a huge shout out for WFUV. That powers us at the brewery. That's on all the time. And our friends up here at WEQX in the capital region, which I know have been spending a lot of private lives the last year. We actually played some when I was on last week talking about this chat.
You talking about Radio Woodstock?
Oh, and Radio Woodstock's incredible too. That's a little south of us, but they're
okay.
choice.
EQX up by you. They're fantastic.
Yes.
And I forget the gentleman's name there that I've spoken to a couple times on Zoom, but they do an excellent job. And there's Radio Woodstock and FUV, and these are all stations that are like the lifeblood for bands like Low Cut Connie. You know, because I run my own label, I never got signed to a label, so we work directly with stations like them. And it took many years, but a lot of stations all over the country started playing us over the last 5-6 years. And the first 5 years of the band, no one would play us because they thought we were a joke band.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't until my fourth album, which was the Dirty Pictures Part 1 album, that we actually started to get played on the radio. But Shake It Little Tina, which was from the third album, which our beer is named after, never really got played on the radio. It did get picked up for Guitar Hero on the video game.
I didn't know that.
And the video certainly made the rounds and is probably my favorite Low Cut Connie video, the Shake It Little Tina video. But we never did get played on the radio until only about 4 or 5 years ago.
Was that Revolution Rock and Roll by chance?
Revolution Rock and Roll. And then the big breakthrough was the following year with Beverly, which actually, you know, charted high in that format. That was off of Dirty Pictures Part 2.
Interesting. Montreal was not the breakout single. That's
no, nobody. I don't know if anybody's ever played that song on the radio.
You could stop some cars. That sounds like fun, man.
Yeah. It's funny. I don't know since you appreciate that song, I lived in Montreal for 2 years.
Oh, no kidding. I love that city. What a beautiful town.
It's fantastic, and wrote that when I was living up there. before Low Cut Connie. You
know, up here at Single Cut North, we're quasi Quebecers, you know.
Yeah.
It's going to take me 2:45 to get home tonight. It'll take me about 2:45. I could go to Montreal. So kind of right in the middle. We got a little taste of the different shaped bagels.
Yeah, but you know, you cross the border into Montreal, it's another world. It's like a touch of Europe, you know.
It definitely makes me appreciate how bad I am at math, because the KPH is never going to work for me. Totally right.
Right.
Adam, I asked for 10 minutes, and you gave me 30.
Well,
what a guy.
Listen, I appreciate you guys so much because I always wanted to have my own beer, and to be able to do it with you guys who are friends of ours, and to do something. Hold it up. I want to see it.
I'm gonna to
do something.
I'm gonna do too. Look at that.
That is so adorable. And celebrating, you know, the spirit of rock and roll, Pride Month, the heart and soul of, you know, all of our fans that have such spirit, you know. And to do it with I gave you guys a challenge. I said I want to do something with some rhubarb in it, because rhubarb, you know, it's a little bit bitter, a little bit sweet, just like me, just like Philadelphia, just like our fans.
Long
Um,
aftertaste.
and so you got that kind of blonde ale, you know, citrus thing with the lime, but you got the rhubarb that's got that little bit of bite to it.
Mm-hmm.
And but the thing I'm most excited about working on this project with you guys is that, you know, we're raising money and awareness uh, for a fantastic organization here in Philadelphia. You mentioned it, the Attic.
Mm-hmm.
The Attic is a, you know, a safe space and community center for LGBTQ plus youth in Philadelphia and also for the whole mid-Atlantic region. The work that they are doing, which is crucial, this is crucial. We need to have more of these community centers around the country and around the world for these youth in crisis, to let them know that we got their back.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of cases, some of these teens have no families behind them, no community behind them. And this is an organization that really helps these kids and gives them a path forward. It's so crucial that we do that. So I'm very glad that we're donating a portion of proceeds to the Attic here in Philadelphia. And I thank you, Dan, for working with me on this project. It's fun and it's important and it's delicious.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, doing good work. And man, you keep speaking that international language of love through your music. That does wonders for all of us. On behalf of me, my household, and Single Cut, man, we owe you a lot of the good vibes that got us through the last 2 years, to say the least.
Well, listen, I thank you. And we'll share Shake It Little Tina at in Queens or up there near Saratoga, where you are today, one of your tap rooms. We'll play some rock and roll, and I can't wait to see you guys soon. And to everybody that's watching, I love you all so much, and enjoy the Shake It Little Tina beer, and I'll see you out there on the road.
Beautiful. My dude, Adam Weiner from Low Cut Connie, whichever direction. I'm just going to go both ways. We'll get you one way or another. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What a dude. The absolute best. I'll keep it short because we're a little over, but that's good. Nothing better than a conversation that goes a little bit longer than you expected, because it's always for good reasons. Those are where the best memories come from. All right, quick recap. Shake It Little Tina is out now. You can get it today in our Single Cut tap rooms. You can find it all over where you normally find Single Cut cans, particularly in Philadelphia. So if you are a local out there, keep your eyes open. You should see it around your house. But if you are a huge Single Cut fan or a Low Cut Connie fan, a tough cookie themselves, we got you this year. Right there, down at the bottom, bit.ly/Shake It Little Tina. Our buds at Halftime Beverage in Mamaroneck are going to be able to ship that out to you all over the nation. So grab your can, grab your 4-pack, put on Private Lives, get ready for that new album. Breaking news right here. That's incredible. We're so stoked for that. Turn it up real loud. Drink loud, listen loud, kick up those feet. Enjoy the rest of Pride Month. We'll see you soon, but not soon enough. Love you. Bye.